Hey, Phil here from the Blue Envelope channel. So I saw over on the JW Thoughts channel, they had a video recently about whether apostates are influencing the religion of Jehovah's Witnesses. And that kind of got me thinking the point when I noticed that ex-witnesses seem to be influencing the actual religion of Jehovah's Witnesses. And that was Jeff Winder's talk at the 2023 annual meeting, specifically this part of it.
The annual meeting has been an occasion where clarified understanding of Bible truths, a new light, has been announced and explained. Now, will there be new light today? How exactly does Jehovah reveal clarified understanding of the Scriptures, new light, in modern times?
So yeah, he's using the term new light. And that term is one you'll hear constantly on the XJW subreddit. Sometimes you'll even see it stylized new light, all one word, like it's a brand name. So super common over there. But I've always been careful never to use that term in my videos and whatnot, because for me, that is a term ex-witnesses use, but it was never a term that I knew of as the religion of Jehovah's Witnesses using to refer to new understandings. Now, yeah, you definitely hear a ton about Proverbs 4:18 and the light getting brighter, but that actual term "new light" being released is never something that I was familiar with growing up. Just to kind of fact check myself, I went on the Watchtower Online Library today to search for that term "new light" and see if it's been used, and that kind of sent me down a bit of a rabbit hole. And I was kind of surprised to find it's actually wrong to say that the religion has never used the term new light. They have used it now and then, mainly back in the 1950s. So the earliest reference that popped up was a 1952 Watchtower, and it was actually used in a negative sense here, talking about people in the congregation who like to speculate about stuff. It says, they seek for something more sensational, for some new light to dazzle unwary listeners. 1953 Watchtower, talking about the assemblies, new light and thoughts are presented. 1954 Watchtower, we are anxious for new light and for new food at the proper time. 1955 Watchtower, new light of truth must be published impartially the world over by God's prophet-like organization. 1955 Watchtower, timely was the new light of truth on the subject of the higher powers published in the 1929 Watchtower. 1959 Watchtower, it's good that not every Watchtower brings new light from Jehovah's Temple. 1960 Watchtower, the great flood of new light published by 1928. And then you don't see that term new light used at all for the next 16 years. It pops up in the 1976 yearbook. In 1935, the brothers in all countries were thrilled at the new light on the subject of the great crowd of Revelation 7. 10 years later, we see it used in a negative way again in the 1986 yearbook. The apostates in The Hague called by the faithful brothers the new light because one of the apostates asserted that they received their light directly from heaven, were active in corrupting the faith of others. Then in 1988, governing body member Albert Schroeder used the term in his life story. This 1935 new light on the great multitude led to steps of reorganization in 1936. And then we see it used one more time in a 95 Watchtower. No wonder about 3,000 of those who heard this new light explained were so convinced that they got baptized that very day, talking about Pentecost. And that's the last reference you see where new light is used, talking about Jehovah's modern day organization. It was used in the history book God's Kingdom Rules, which was published in 2014, talking about a group of Bible students back in the 1890s. It says they called their church the New Light Church because the truths that the Bible students taught were viewed as new light on the scriptures. And so until Jeff Winder used the term in his talk last year, it had been 28 years since that term had showed up in Watchtower literature. And that jives with my experience that from the 90s forward, I'd never really heard that term used in the organization. So yeah, when I was formulating this video, I was fully prepared to say that Jeff Winder used that term because ex-witnesses used the term new light, and it kind of filtered backwards into the congregations through PMO witnesses and whatnot, and then gradually filtered upwards until it got to the governing body, and we find him using this term in his talk at the annual meeting. So I guess we can't say that, because you can't say that the organization has never used the term new light, but it's definitely a pretty rare term in the literature. I guess I would be really interested to ask Jeff Winder where he got the term new light and how, what made him use it in his talk there. I wonder if it's something he got from one of these older Watchtower articles, or if it's a term that's kind of in the zeitgeist of Jehovah's Witness culture, and that's where he got it from, because in that case that would pretty definitely be linked back to ex-witnesses. All right, well, that's about it. I was just thinking about that today. Hey, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like, and we'll catch you all in the next video. Take care now.